Hey everybody, it's SinnerMan here, and I just looked into the whole situation with Sweet Baby, and oh god, it's a doozy. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put my whole 2 cents into it. So what is Sweet Baby, right? If you may not know the situation at all, Sweet Baby is a company who has had his hand in quote unquote helping games in their direction, writing, and vision that betters them in the perspective of giving them more diversity and enrichment, which I don't really agree with, honestly. I really don't. Sweet Baby is a consulting firm that has its hand in Alan Wake 2, God of War Ragnarok, Spider-Man 2. Look at their website. They're so proud of all the games that they have touched, or in many people's like description, corrupted. And the range of how much they've helped develop these stories and characters is unknown to us, but what we can say is that Sweet Baby is profiting from placing certain aspects in a game for the sake of diversifying it and calling it enrichment, which many people do not agree with. When in fact, from what we can see, the woke problem in video games is now given a face, and that is Sweet Baby Incorporated. Right now, people are taking out their frustrations on them for their ideas to add diversity and, more importantly, their agenda to these games in the place of actual story and, not inject characters who don't belong in the setting, for fuck's sake, right? Crazy enough, more info has come out to where Sweet Baby gets funneled work and workers from a place called Ghost Baby. Yeah, it's weird, right? And Ghost Baby is getting some funding from a place called Weird Baby, who is, from what we can see, is like the main driving force for the whole agenda and sort of changing the whole aspect of gaming and so on, right? It's a whole situation. It's weird. And honestly, to me, it's a fucking racket, people. A racket to push ideas into the gaming sphere by corrupting the devs or injecting devs who have the wrong sort of mindset in the gaming world. It's crazy. Not only crazy, it's damn near racist, since, as it turns out, they don't really allow white men or, people of certain ideologies to really participate in the grants. This is mainly for, what was it called? Ghost Baby, I'm pretty sure, because they're the ones giving out the grants and so on. And if you don't have the same mindset, well, too goddamn bad, right? Sure, if you are somebody of color, then you obviously can go ahead and come up and try it. If you have the same ideology, cool, even better. Now you can go ahead and follow the herd of people that also have the same mindset. It's fucked up. It's so goddamn Jesus. It's insane to me that this sort of situation is happening right now, that it's happening. Look, racism is racism, no matter what. This just shows us that they are only doing this to push an agenda to make things more diverse and inclusive, even at the detriment of the story and immersion, just because they want it to be so, right? And it's just unsettling, honestly. It's unsettling. Look, diversity is fine, but it needs to be done within reason, for fuck's sake. If a story centers around a particular area that is predominantly white, or a story details a character's look in a specific way, changing it is not something that's not something that's going to go well with the fans of the property if it's already established, right? Especially in the name of fucking diversity. That people are not going to be happy regardless, but a lot of these people will go ahead and will scream for it, even though they will most likely not even consume the content. It's insane. The whole thing about gingers being replaced by African Americans or just black people in general is a real thing. I think changing the race of a character isn't the way to go unless you are just revamping the character who previously just didn't have much to go on, much to do, and much development or story. Look at Annette from Castlevania Nocturne. Gave her an actual story arc besides just being our boy's girlfriend, I suppose. If you agree with the whole thing or not, that's up to you. Who cares, right? I find this better than just slapping a different color on a character. However, you could argue that how they revamp the character can be worse off. Why not just create your own character at that point? And that's what makes it so fucking frustrating. Why revamp at all? Why change things at all if you can just create your own character? And that's just where the fault lies. They know the character they create, that they establish, won't be as important as the other character who has the story revolve around them more and has a better position in the story. Evil does not create, it manipulates and alters. It corrupts and destroys what we hold dear and makes it into something we despise. Sweet Baby highlights the problem we as gamers have been voicing for years now, but not just us, but people who enjoy different types of media like movies, shows, cartoons, anime, comics. The need for diversity in pushing agendas have become worse as years go by. The whole situation with the whole localization of anime that happened a good bit ago highlights the growing problem of people who obviously have a linear mindset of diversity and pushing their thoughts into things that they should have never have creative control over in the first place. It's insane, honestly, to see that these sort of people that just want this same mindset, that can't just let things go by and just want to inject their own sort of ideas into stories that doesn't even involve what they want to put in. It's insane that a good majority of them has gone ahead and injected these ideas into games now as far as they did. So let me ask you guys this: is it enough to vote with your wallet, call out behavior like this, and get angry online? No, it is not enough, at least for me. These consultations for story and characters in these games put into question about the skill and ideas being thrown around in the dev team, in the studio, because if they aren't even fully trusted to create the story, then why are they there? If their storytelling and direction is so weak, why are they involved? Why do they have a job? Maybe it's out of their hands and maybe they just aren't interested or too busy to work on these aspects a bit more deeply. Or leadership is worried about the whole diversity quota, and so they hire diversity consultants to help them out. Look, again, diversity isn't a bad thing. It just needs a place, it needs a reason, but most often than not, it's just used for just to change certain ways, just to push an agenda, to go ahead and change details, to go ahead and push the certain ideas that a certain person wants and push everything towards a direction that they want, right? If that makes any sense. But I've seen it happen to where people will use their ability to manipulate details to get what they want to happen or pushed. If you're a consultant and you got hired to see what is good, what is bad, the power in the situation is now given to the person consulting, as whatever they say holds more weight, primarily because they are being paid, for one, and they were hired because their whole specialty is in that field they got hired to look into. They have more weight than the typical worker who, for some ungodly reason, wasn't given the ability to decide on what to do, right? And that is the problem here, because somebody can go ahead, say like Sweet Baby, right? Somebody from there who has this whole diversity inclusion mindset could just go ahead and just implement their ideas and agenda and just say, yeah, this is good, this is bad, deal with it. And it's detrimental to the whole story, because this mindset is not good, especially when it comes to story building and characters. Look at God of War Ragnarok. For me, when it comes to the girl who's obviously like the only black giant there, she, like, it sort of makes sense because the realms have their own sort of thing. It's whatever, right? Like the whole, like, her being black, I didn't really care for it, but the fact, like, if they just put her in there just because they wanted somebody of color in there, that is a problem. That is a problem. If they were to have just expanded it to where giants can be of any color and so on, and we see multiple of them of different colors, it will be fine, because these are just different realms. Like, you know, they're not different places in the location of Earth. Hell is not a location on Earth, right? It's not. But if they just did better with sort of the story, it could have worked. It could have been something like the giants can be of many colors or whatever. They're diverse people or whatever, right? It doesn't matter. However, if they just put them in there and just change their color and so on, just because of the diversity and inclusion aspect, that is a problem. But again, when it comes to the company, like, they could completely just ignore the opinion of the consultant. But when it comes to this, the woke crowd online who always has something to say, complain, bitch and moan about, for some reason holds more sway than the people who are actually enjoying said media, right? These companies or studios don't want to deal with this crowd at all and wants to make everything and everybody happy. That is another problem. Trying to make everyone happy doesn't work for anyone in reality, and most often just hurts you. These companies try to win points from a crowd who will bitch and moan regardless of a fruitless attempt to make them happy, right? Sure, there may be rot within the walls of the company who try to make things more diverse and push agendas, but we see how most of these games turn out, right? Sweet Baby Inc., whatever they want to be truly called, Ghost Baby or Weird Baby, whatever the hell, right? Is now the face of the woke crap people have been mad at for years, and it's definitely hit their reputation, and now people are aware of them. Possibly companies will be wary of working with them, as people have already started boycotting anything Sweet Baby has worked on, and it's sort of beautiful. It's sort of beautiful to see. I can't speak for some reason, but we need to do more. We need to do more. It's an interesting situation, as companies need to change something, or else they will lose more money and trust from gamers or whoever consumes their media or content, right? I don't really see many companies trying to change, as Warner Brothers recently said that they will attempt to do more live service for some reason, right? After Suicide Squad just bombed completely, and it will probably have more crap in them. So yeah, we will see. And because of this whole Sweet Baby sort of situation, it's opened up more cans of worms and more situations of wokeness in video games, especially like with Starfield. And that sort of started the whole drama between Actman and Babyface. And I think the whole situation there is fucking stupid. We should be fighting against the bullshit in gaming, not each other. Yes, Actman did a bad thing, leaking DMs. However, his position was awkward, since, you know, he couldn't speak to Babyface directly because he was, you know, playing hard to get, I suppose, and they were using a mediator. Babyface isn't vindicated of being a huge man-child, but his anger towards the whole woke crap in gaming isn't misplaced. It's not misplaced. However, I think the whole situation is just stupid, especially if they spoke one-to-one. This crap wouldn't have happened, and that's my whole take on that situation. But we should be using our energy on more important matters. No one wants to pick sides, but people will want to go ahead and eat shit up. Channels will go ahead and point the finger to see who's right, who's wrong. It doesn't matter. I heard of the whole situation through Asmongold, and the more I look into it, the more I think of how this shit is just so fucking stupid. And I just don't want this to happen. Like, we should go ahead and put our energy towards the whole Sweet Baby debacle, and with their ideas, and put them all into a fire, into a fucking inferno. Their whole representation of trying to change how gaming is, and change the course of gaming. That shit doesn't belong in gaming or any other media. The only thing that matters is good stories, good characters, and that's all that matters. Not inclusion or diversity for the sake of diversity. The story will always matter. This has been SinnerMan, and these are my thoughts on the whole situation so far. If you guys have any thoughts on this, let me know. Thank you guys for watching the video. Stay safe mentally, emotionally, physically. Until next time.